Alright, so I'm back at the shop. This car was dropped off like over the weekend. So I had to come in this morning after coming back from LA, drop off my kids at school, and came right back here, just catching up. So I was doing some inspection. The car didn't start, first of all, when I guess it was supposedly towed out here from Virginia. This car was supposedly worked by a shop, but has just a bunch of issues here. So just for my reference and record, and also, you know, how we're gonna do to make this thing run better and how it's supposedly, I just want to record it here. Good thing the car didn't start in the first place, and I was able to kind of check the oil. I was going through the car because the battery ran out and it wasn't recognizing the key for a while. So I took out the dipstick and I saw some oil on the ground. So sure enough, didn't have any oil in there. So same issue, the oil pan, the sealant, over tightening the oil filter, also the AM fitting, like all combinations of things drain the whole oil out, probably sitting there for the longest time. And this valve here, of course, it's not so efficient. The oil cooler is not even mounted, it's just sitting there. And there's another amazing thing right here. The transmission cooler, they cut the radiator fan to go have it go through, and just gasket seal everywhere. And this gasket here up top is not even in there. So all like silicone everything, you can see. So the owner is aware of that, and he just told me whatever it takes, just fix everything. There's no power steering. And we're also doing the transmission swap, manual swap. So I'm just concerned about the engine. Even if they just started up and loaded up on the trailer, you know, if you're low on oil, definitely could hurt the engine internally. So I just took care of 2 Canton guys, and this guy dropped off his car for the throttle bearing. The throttle bearing actually decided to take a crap, and this is actually a common problem. So I was actually driving without the pedal. I will put the clutch in, see how it's down here. So I just dropped off the oil pan as suspected. There are a few videos about this, and when Aaron worked on it, whatever, you can see just gunk of silicones, just hoping that it will actually seal it up better, but apparently it didn't. So just a lot of silicone. Also the return, this is what the kit provides. Nothing really wrong with it, just that how we do it with the AM fitting, and it's much nicer, cleaner. Half of this oil is actually out from this car. That's including draining out from the oil cooler, so it was really low on oil. Not only that, what I'm really concerned about is these metal debris. There are a bunch of them in here. If you have this much over here in the oil pan, I can't wait to see what's in the filter. So you can see all the debris. Those are not silicone. They're all basically metal. So I just crack open the filter using this tool, and I mean it still has some little bit of debris, but not as much as I would expect after seeing those metals on the bottom of the oil pan. It could be either got contaminated, or this could be something happened, you know, while prying in the oil pan, whatever, and never got really cleaned. I mean, it could be the best scenario for the owner. I just started working on the manual swap on this car, but it just has a lot of stuff inside. So this mess right here. I don't know what to do with this because the clutch pedal and the master cylinder, obviously to the master cylinder, but I'm gonna do the separate reservoir on this thing like we've been doing. So I don't know what to do with this right here because it's just gonna be on the way big time. All right, so I'm still waiting on the 1 o'clock appointment, and I just started working on the pedals for this car, doing the auto to manual swap, and pretty much all the pedals are actually bolted down. It's very simple. The brake pedal is basically a direct replacement. The clutch could be a little tricky. If this was my car, I'll just use plasma cutter and just like cut whatever, but since this is customer's car, use the all the drills and stuff like that. I broke one, but it's all laid out, and basically it's going to be connected to that'll be the master cylinder for the clutch. So this is the main reservoir that shares with the brakes and the clutch for Genesis Coupe. As you can see, this part that's capped off is for automatic, and usually for manual it's connected to your clutch master cylinder. But since this it's gonna be just pain in the butt to tap it, and then you have to like rebleed the whole brake system, so I'm just gonna make a separate reservoir for the clutch system for the clutch, and that's what we've been doing for the manual transmission swap, and actually works great. And some of the manual guys even do it. I just started seeing some guys doing it so that it's easier to maintain, and if you go to the track, like not only you're going to boil the brake system, but the clutch as well. So I basically just ran the master cylinder and the line here, so I'm actually done with everything up here. Due to all this mess down here, I can't really position the reservoir. This reservoir is from the little like a motorcycle, by the way. So I'm just gonna position it here. Like I'll use it for just bleeding purposes later, or maybe extend it and locate it somewhere here. But again, because all the wirings are on the way, I can't really do much. So anyway, I'm just done up here. I'm gonna have to set up the car on the lift. Right, so put the car back on the lift. So this is basically second time putting the car on the lift, and I actually took a closer look at it because all I did was actually took off the oil pan and the oil filter, and kind of cleaned up because it was full of oil. I went around, and also I pointed out this thing, but I also saw this is the meth line just hanging here. I really don't know who would do this, but zip ties just like half, not even chopped off, just hanging all the lines over here. I also notice like some like straps or whatever to hold this open, how the exhaust looks like.